Welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you news about the City Council's decision on allowing farm animals in residential neighborhoods, news from Congressman McCarthy's office, news about students attending military academies, Hiller's email server news, today's KZGN Talking Points editorial, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News Crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Whitnick. Thanks for joining us for the news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. In news about Congressman McCarthy's bid for Speaker of the House, we get this report. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy has withdrawn his bid for Speaker of the House. The vote was scheduled for today. He is now saying he might not be the right person for the job. More discussions will be held, I'm sure. So, the vote has been postponed for now. Well, last evening, the City Council met for their regular meeting. While it was a full agenda, the main item many people showed up for was the proposed changes to the Ridgecrest Municipal Code concerning animals people can have in their residences. And the point of concern many people had was the section where they were considering allowing certain farm animals like other fowl, chicken, geese, ducks, pigeons, and others yet to be unnamed animals into all residential neighborhoods. This revision would mean these farm animals would be allowed in all residential areas. Well, there was a lot of comment from the public about the idea. No one spoke in favor of it. One person was kind of neutral on it. In the end, the council appeared on course to a possible 2-2 vote on it. It was 2-2 because Councilman Mike Maurer had abstained from the agenda item as his business receives income from chickens and feed and other farm animal supplies. So it was real clear the mayor and Councilman Eddie Thomas was not in favor of allowing poultry and fowl in residential neighborhoods. As expected, the whole idea was being pushed for approval by Mayor Pro Tem Jim Sanders. What was surprising was his total dismissal of every single person's concerns voiced by the public and animal control officers. He just blew off the people's comments as old thinking, said he didn't see any problem with allowing chickens in residential yards, and tried to sway the rest of the council to support it. Vice Mayor Acton waffled on the concept. She couldn't decide what she wanted to do. However, with a 4-person council, there would have to be 3 votes to approve the item. Since 2 said no, it was over with no vote actually taken. The proposed municipal code update was referred back to staff to come back with changes, excluding the poultry and fowl from it. Tomorrow evening, we'll have a more detailed report on this with videos of people's comments. In other City Council meeting news, they handled these agenda items. The Council issued a proclamation honoring the 125th anniversary of the Daughters of the American Revolution. After public comment, they approved the following resolutions. They amended the professional service agreement in the amount of $6,000 with the engineer of record, Mark Thomas Company, for additional construction support and survey work on the closeout of the West Ridgecrest Boulevard project. Then they amended the professional service agreement with Quad Knopf Incorporated for additional service of right-of-way acquisition in the amount of $24,000. Next, they approved the purchase of a Trimble R10 survey-grade GPS rover unit in the amount of about $35,000 for the use of locating underground utilities for the wastewater treatment facility. Then they tabled acceptance of the post-employment benefits actuarial study as of June 30th. It was prepared by the Nyhart Company. They didn't fully understand all the implications of the report and told staff they wanted a presentation from the contractor at their next meeting to get more detailed information. Then they agreed to enter into a land lease agreement and a MOU with Wepcon Incorporated to develop a solar project at the Ridgecrest Animal Shelter. Then they approved moving tax allocation bond funds from Parks and Recreation allocation to be expended for capital improvements to the concession stand construction project. This is to replace the concession stand that burned down at the Kerr-McGee Ballpark about 2 years ago. The concession stand will have a total cost of almost $348,000. Insurance will cover about $153,000 of it. The rest will come from TAB funds. And finally, they approved a proclamation for Freedom from Workplace Bullying 2015. Those were all the consent action items. The single item in the discussion segment of the meeting was they considered the appointment to the Measure L Citizens Advisory Committee. Councilman Jim Sanders was tasked to review applications and make a recommendation for this appointment. This person will replace Scott Garber, who has resigned. Jim reviewed 3 applications. He said he spoke with all 3 of them and thought they all were good applicants. He decided on Jacqueline Walters of Ridgecrest. And finally, the last agenda item was that consideration of the ordinance of the City Council amending the municipal code as it relates to animal keeping within the city of Ridgecrest. And as I reported at the beginning of this segment, there was not the 3 votes needed to approve the changes as submitted, so it was sent back to staff for major changes. Again, on tomorrow's news, we'll have a full report with videos of the people's comments. Some were very heated and even threatened the council that if they approved the changes, they would be dealt with in their next elections. So tune in tomorrow for the details. In a quick update about Hillary Clinton's private email server, we got this report. Clinton's private email server, containing an electronic inventory of some 55,000 pages of emails from her stint as Secretary of State, was repeatedly hit by attempted cyber attacks originating in China, South Korea, and Germany in 2014, according to a congressional document obtained by the Associated Press. They joined the attacks already reported the Russians did. At least 5 cyber attack tries were apparently blocked by a threat monitoring product that was connected to her network in October 2013, 8 months after she left office. But for more than 3 months earlier that year, her system was not protected by the security product because it had not been installed. In more news from Congressman McCarthy's office, we get this announcement. On Thursday, October 15th, he will be holding a forum for all students in the 23rd Congressional District who are interested in attending one of the U.S. Service Academies. The forum will start at 6 p.m. in the Kern County Board of Supervisors chambers located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue in Bakersfield. So if you know anyone who might be interested in attending, please feel free to share this with them. Our nation's service academies provide our students with the opportunity to obtain an excellent education and also equip our young people with the skills to become great leaders. I am proud that every year many of our students choose to attend one of them. This forum offers students and parents the chance to learn more about the application process, academy life, and career opportunities within the various branches of the military. I encourage everyone who is interested to come out and learn more. If you have any questions or would like to RSVP, please call his office at 661-327-3611 or send him an email at rsvp.mccarthy@mail.house.gov. Now stay tuned for today's KZGN Talking Points editorial after the break. Thanks for staying with us. Now it's time for the 84th KZGN News Talking Points editorial. Here's today's topic. What new gun laws could be written to stop the types of school shootings we have seen lately? Well, it seems the anti-gunners, including our president, has again decided to make gun control the issue to try and stop these terrible school shootings. And they are terrible. And there are numerous rumors flying that the president is again going to use executive authority to try and circumvent the Congress. But we'll hold that discussion for when he actually tries to do it again. So, are there laws that can prevent these shootings? It was interesting to watch the interview programs since the shooting. Everyone that was asked what law they could pass to stop this particular shooting had no answer. They just went on and said, we have to do something. This has got to stop. Or they would say a law needs to be passed that is already on the books. Many of these anti-gun people don't even know all the laws that are already on the books. Let's dispel a couple rumored problems some voice about the current system. First, about background checks. Be clear, every gun dealer in every state has to do a background check on every buyer of a gun. Again, every gun dealer in every state has to do a background check on gun purchasers. Next, the commonly referred to gun show loophole for background checks. Again, every gun dealer in every state has to do a background check on every buyer of a gun, even at gun shows. The only exception of that law is concerning sales of guns by private parties. In California, sales by private parties to another private individual must be transferred through a licensed gun dealer, thereby ensuring the buyer is getting a background check done However, I'm not sure every state laws, but most of them do allow private sales of guns to other private buyers without a background check. But there is a federal law that if a person sells more than 10 guns per year as a private individual, they are required to get a license. So for the gun show private sales, if the federal government enforced the law, many of these private sales could be reduced. But again, it's the feds not enforcing current law. Now the meat of the discussion. What law could be passed? It really comes down to the area of mental stability to own a firearm. The problem with the background check system is the part where the buyer is asked if they have been adjudicated mentally incompetent. Adjudicated means a person was determined by the courts to not be mentally competent. It's not about the question and how the person answers it. It's about the files kept by the FBI and in California by the DOJ. The problems we are having is people that have not been adjudicated, but people that have been real mental issues, are seeing doctors for treatments, but doctors do not report these cases to the FBI. If the files do not provide any information to a person's mental state, then it automatically passes as okay to transfer the gun. The problem is many doctors cite doctor-patient privilege in keeping their medical history secret, so they don't report problem patients to the FBI. Some states have different standards in reporting. The question everyone should be asking is, should there be a law requiring doctors to report mentally unstable people to the FBI? If you say yes, then you need to consider the criteria a doctor would use to decide when to report and when not to report. Aside from the patient that goes on rants to the doctor saying they plan on going out and killing people or doing harm to themselves, it's not clear what doctors should report. Many times, a doctor may not have a clear indication that a person may be a danger to themselves or others. Ultimately, the whole process will fall onto the doctors. Even if a law attempts to set reporting standards, there will still be arbitrary decisions by doctors whether to report or not report a person. But whatever law is determined to be right, it is not up to Congress to pass such a law. It is not up to the President using executive action to make up laws around Congress. All responsible gun owners want these terrible shootings to stop. But it isn't always about guns. What about the school shooting that started by the shooter actually stabbing to death his two roommates prior to going out and doing the school shooting? When a mentally unstable person makes up their mind to do harm, they will find a way. Whether it's a knife, baseball bat, car, or frying pan, there are many ways to kill. It has to do with mental condition. It's not about guns. Yes, we need to figure a way to keep mentally unstable people from getting access to guns. That effort has to also start in homes where they are guns legally owned by others that do not keep them away from unstable people. Parents need to keep guns away from unstable kids. We need to reform the doctor reporting system. That will not be easy. In conclusion, yes, we have to figure a way to keep guns away from mentally unstable people. But a truly unbiased group needs to be put together to draft a recommended solution. This group needs to include doctors, constitutional scholars, lawyers expert in patient rights, and doctors' rights. I'm Tom Budnick, and that's what I think. I'd like to know what you think. If you have any comments about this editorial or would like to discuss or recommend a topic, I'd like to hear from you. Please email in to info@kzgn.net. Now stay with us for weather and sports when we come back.
From the Burroughs High School TV studio, I'm Destiny Matthews with the Burroughs Video Bits for Thursday, October 8th, 2015. Let's take a look at how athletes of the school are doing from the burroughsathletics.org website. Homecoming Dance is this Saturday, October 11th. Tickets are on sale in the Sherman Shack. The varsity football homecoming game against Sultana begins tomorrow at 7 p.m. after the parade, including class floats and pageantry with the homecoming court. Drama is hard at work preparing the fall musical, The Wizard of Oz, opening Friday, November 6th. The Burroughs High School Robotics Club sent 3 teams to Sultana High School last Saturday, October 3rd, to participate in the VEX Robots 2015 Nothing But Net competition. Our technical director, Kevin Seaman's team, won 6 out of 8 of their matches. Did you know October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month? Chess tournament is Monday, October 12th at Gateway Elementary School. Registration is from 8:30 to 9. That's our segment from the Burroughs High School TV broadcast of Ridgecrest, California. This is Desi Matthews.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's go to Keith for the weather.
Thank you, Tom. The National Weather Service is
Thanks, Keith. Let's go to Tom Heck for sports. So that's the news for today. All of us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now stay with us for Al Huey and Robert Ironman, who will host Tex Hopus and Mayor Breeden on the USO anniversary coming right up.